journey of growing grace. Maybe there's a time in their life where they're not ready for a certain responsibility, but later on they are ready for it. We don't like that. We like everything to be discard anyone that doesn't do me any good at the moment, and you know, we have this idea that if they're on my side, I'll give them all the benefit of the doubt, but if they're not, cast them away. That wasn't how Paul and Barnabas were. Barnabas had a natural love for him, but you know what? While he was with Barnabas, he must have grown in the Lord enough that the Apostle Paul, at the end of his ministry, when some of his closest people, he said, Demas hath forsaken me, and some of his closest people had walked away because of circumstances again. He was in prison. They didn't want to be attached to that. Sometimes we like to be attached to someone when everything's going right. We back off when it's not. And that's what happened with Paul. He said, all men forsook me. He said, only Luke is with me. Here's the great Apostle Paul. At the end of his ministry, the only guy he had with him was a licensed physician. Luke the physician. He had his doctor with him. And that to help take care of him. I mean, here was a man that used to lay hands on people as an apostle with apostolic signs, would lay hands on them and heal them. But he was a man at the end of his ministry. He left one of his friends somewhere sick because that was over with. Those times were over. Things change. Now here he is. The only one with him is his doctor. And he said, bring Mark. He said, he's profitable. At one time he said he wasn't, but now he said he is. And that's a message in itself, so we'll just go on from that. But that ends chapter 15. Chapter 16, out they go. New missionary partner, Silas. I'm sure they knew each other, but it wasn't quite the same thing. And then the first place they go, they meet up with a guy named Timothy. Right, in the passage it says Timotheus. And Timothy, it says well reported of. And Timothy, Paul says to Timothy, I want you to get circumcised. Why? His mother was a Jew, his father was a Greek, and he knew if I take you with me, everywhere you go, that's all the people are going to be talking about. It didn't have anything to do with salvation, it was just practicality at the time. And so Timothy was willing to get circumcised just so he wouldn't cause offense to wherever they went. And then what happens after that? He's got his crew, they're all set to go to Asia, and then the Spirit of God forbids him and says, don't go to Asia. And so then they're not sure what to do, but they know this, the Lord will give direction.